What is Saiza? Saiza means proper sitting, but in Japanese tradition it represents something far deeper than posture. It is a physical position designed to shape your mental world. You kneel on the floor, folding your legs beneath you, resting on your heels. Your spine is straight, not stiff but alive. Your hands rest gently on your thighs. The body becomes still, balanced, and quiet. No slouching, no unnecessary movement, no escape into comfort. To someone new, Saiza feels uncomfortable, even challenging. The legs may tingle, the back might resist. The mind wants to fidget, shift, or give up. To the impatient, it feels almost impossible. But to the disciplined, Saiza becomes a doorway into a deeper level of focus, awareness, and mental strength. In ancient Japan, this sitting posture was used during situations that demanded absolute calm and clarity. Tea ceremonies, formal greetings, intense strategy discussions, delicate negotiations, and even the tense moments before a duel. Warriors and monks understood a powerful truth. The state of your body directly influences the state of your mind. When you hold your body still, your mind begins to follow. When you control your posture, you control your focus. And when you remain composed in stillness, you develop the mental strength to remain composed in life. Saiza is the discipline of stillness, an ancient habit that builds unshakable inner power. Part 2. Why samurai practice Saiza? Samurai didn't practice Saiza for comfort. They practiced it for control. Imagine facing an opponent who can strike you at any moment. Your pulse rises. Your breath shortens. Your body wants to move, run, or fight. But the samurai learned to stay still, composed, centered. Saiza taught them self-control under stress, emotional neutrality, focus without distraction, patience without frustration. During the Edo period, before a duel, two samurai would kneel in Saiza, facing each other. They held this posture to gauge each other's spirit. The one who could remain calm the longest often mentally defeated the other before the first strike. Saiza wasn't a posture. It was a psychological weapon. Part 2. Why samurai practice Saiza? Samurai didn't practice Saiza for comfort. They didn't kneel to look polite or traditional. They practiced it for something far more powerful: control. Control over their bodies, control over their breath, and ultimately, control over their minds. Imagine standing on the edge of a duel. Your opponent is only a few feet away. The slightest movement could trigger an attack. Your pulse rises. Your breath tightens. Every instinct inside you urges you to move, to run, to strike, to defend yourself. But the samurai were trained to do the opposite. They learned to stay still, composed, centered. Saiza was their training ground for this mental stillness. It taught them to override instinct with intention. Through Saiza, samurai developed self-control under stress, the ability to stay calm when others break, emotional neutrality, clearing the mind of fear, anger, or hesitation, focus without distraction, attention sharpened like the blade of a katana, patience without frustration, enduring discomfort without losing inner balance. To a warrior, these weren't optional traits. They were survival skills. During the Edo period, before a duel began, two samurai would kneel in Saiza, facing one another. They sat completely still, not speaking, not flinching, barely blinking. This was not just tradition, it was a test. Each warrior studied the other's breathing, posture, and presence. Could the opponent maintain calm? Would their eyes waver? Would their mind crack under the pressure of silence? The samurai believed that the one who remained calm the longest often won the duel before the first strike was ever made. A trembling hand or a restless posture revealed fear, hesitation, or a lack of discipline. Saiza wasn't just a posture. It was a battlefield of the mind, a psychological weapon that allowed a warrior to confront danger with clarity, confidence, and an unshakable spirit. This ancient discipline is why samurai were not only feared for their skill, but respected for their mental strength. Part 3. The psychological science behind Saiza. Although Saiza is an ancient practice, its benefits perfectly align with what modern neuroscience now understands about the human brain. what the samurai and Zen monks discovered through experience, science is only beginning to explain. Saiza may look simple, just sitting on your knees, but internally, it activates a powerful combination of psychological and physiological mechanisms that build mental strength. Let's break down the science behind it. 1. Stillness lowers cortisol. In everyday life, your body is constantly scanning the environment for threats. Even small movements, tapping your foot, shifting your weight, adjusting your posture, all signal your nervous system to stay alert. But when you enter Saiza and become completely still, something remarkable happens. Your body recognizes that there is no need for defense. No movement means no danger. This reduces activity in the sympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight mode, and activates the parasympathetic system, the calm state. As a result, cortisol levels drop, heart rate slows, breathing deepens, your mind becomes clearer and quieter. This is why samurai used Saiza before making critical decisions. Clarity under pressure begins with a calm nervous system. 2. The posture forces mental discipline. Saiza is not comfortable for most people. After a few minutes, your knees may ache, your legs may tingle, and your brain will begin screaming for relief. But this discomfort is exactly the point. Your mind says stop, your body says move, but you stay still. Every second you resist the urge to adjust your posture, you build mental toughness. You strengthen the part of your brain responsible for self-control, the prefrontal cortex, while weakening impulsive habits. This is the same psychological mechanism trained in cold plunges, long-distance running, and military endurance training. Saiza is simply a quieter, more meditative version of it. 3. A straight spine increases alertness. Japanese monks often say, a straight spine is a straight mind, and science agrees. A slouch posture is associated with fatigue, sadness, and reduced focus. It signals to your brain that you're relaxed, tired, or emotionally unstable. But a straight spine activates neural pathways that increase alertness and regulate attention. It improves oxygen flow, enhances concentration, and even boosts confidence. When you sit in Saiza with your spine tall and aligned, your brain switches into a state of calm alertness, relaxed but ready. This is the mental state samurai relied on during strategy, meditation, and combat. 4. Controlled breathing replaces emotional chaos. As you settle into Saiza, your breath naturally becomes slower and deeper. This is the body's built-in anti-anxiety mechanism. Slow breathing activates the vagus nerve, which reduces stress signals, balances emotions, and stabilizes your mood. It becomes nearly impossible to feel panic or anger when your breath is deep and steady. Your emotional storms begin to settle. Chaos becomes clarity. So what seems like a simple posture is actually a full-system mental training exercise, one that rewires your stress response, strengthens your discipline, sharpens your focus, and calms your emotions from the inside out. Part 4. Saiza in Zen, the art of immovable calm. In Zen Buddhism, monks strive for a state known as Fudoshin, the immovable mind. A mind that stands firm no matter what storm is happening outside. A mind untouched by fear, unshaken by anger, unmoved by distraction, and unbroken by stress. This state of mental stillness is not born overnight. It is cultivated through discipline, breath, posture, and silence. And at the core of this training lies one powerful practice, Saiza. When Zen monks sit in Saiza, they're not simply resting in a traditional posture. They are entering a mental dojo, a training ground where the battle is not against the world, but against the mind itself. Sitting motionless is harder than it looks. The knees complain, the back stiffens, the ankles whisper discomfort, and the mind begins its usual dance, wandering, worrying, inventing stories, searching for anything to escape the stillness. But this is exactly the moment when Zen practice begins. Every time the monk resists the urge to shift or fidget, every time they choose silence over distraction, every time they stay present instead of chasing thoughts, they sharpen their mind like a blade. What samurai practiced for battle, monks practiced for enlightenment. In Zen, stillness is not weakness, it is power. It teaches the mind to stop reacting to every discomfort, every fear, every random thought. It shows the practitioner that emotions and sensations come and go, but the self beneath them remains steady. This is the birth of the immovable mind, and Saiza is the perfect tool for this training. A posture that demands discipline, a position that challenges the ego, a practice that reveals your inner restlessness and teaches you to move beyond it. When you sit in Saiza, you're not just sitting. You are practicing the art of staying calm in the middle of internal chaos. You're learning to master your reactions, and you are building the same mental strength that has guided monks, samurai, and seekers of wisdom for centuries. This is how Saiza becomes more than posture. It becomes power. Part 5. Why modern Japan still uses Saiza. Today, the modern world is filled with chairs, sofas, and soft cushions. We avoid discomfort at every turn. Yet in Japan, a country known for blending tradition with technology, one ancient practice continues to survive: Saiza. Whether you walk into a dojo, attend a traditional ceremony, or join a meditation retreat, you will still see people kneeling in this disciplined posture. Why has Saiza remained unchanged for centuries, even as everything else evolved? Because Japan understands something the modern world has forgotten. Saiza is not just a way to sit, it is a way to strengthen the mind. In martial arts, Saiza is the beginning and end of every session. It teaches fighters to calm their minds before they move their bodies. A warrior who starts from stillness moves with intention, not impulse. In traditional ceremonies, Saiza shows respect, not just to the host, but to the moment itself. It reminds participants to be present, attentive, and grateful. In sword practice, Saiza prepares the spirit. The katana is not simply lifted, it is raised from a place of mental stability. A sword drawn from stillness carries more clarity than a sword drawn from chaos. In etiquette lessons, Saiza cultivates composure. Children learn to sit, listen, and stay grounded, skills that will serve them throughout life. In meditation retreats, Saiza becomes the anchor between breath and awareness. It keeps the spine aligned and the mind centered. So why does Japan still use Saiza today? Because it teaches values that the modern world desperately needs. Endurance, the ability to stay steady even when life becomes uncomfortable. Patience, the willingness to slow down when everything around you speeds up. Composure, the skill of remaining calm under pressure. Respect, for yourself, for others, and for the present moment. These are qualities no piece of technology can give us. They must be trained intentionally, consistently, quietly. And that's why, in a world overflowing with noise and distraction, the person who can sit still, the person who can stay grounded, the person who can remain centered in the middle of chaos, that person wins. Saiza continues to survive in Japan because it builds exactly this kind of human, disciplined, patient, composed, and mentally unshakable. Part 6. How Saiza builds mental strength. Saiza is more than tradition, more than etiquette, more than comfort or posture. It is a tool for mental transformation. Every time you kneel in Saiza, your body and mind are put to the test. The knees ache, the feet tingle, the back resists, and your mind whispers, move, shift, escape. Yet when you remain still, something remarkable happens. You begin to train the part of your brain that governs self-control, the prefrontal cortex. You strengthen your ability to resist impulse. You develop patience, and step by step, discomfort turns into resilience. 1. Pain tolerance, resilience. The body naturally resists sitting in Saiza for long periods. That resistance mirrors life. By learning to endure discomfort in this controlled way, you train your mind to endure stress, setbacks, and challenges outside the dojo or temple. The small battle with your body becomes practice for the bigger battles in life. 2. Discipline, consistency. Saiza requires regular practice. 5 minutes one day, 10 the next. The act of returning to this posture daily develops consistency, one of the most overlooked pillars of mental strength. Like a warrior sharpening a blade, you're shaping your mind through repeated discipline. 3. Calm under stress, better decisions. When your body and mind are trained to remain still and focused under physical discomfort, the same calm transfers to emotional and social situations. A stressful meeting, a difficult conversation, or a sudden problem no longer triggers panic. The mind that learned calm and stillness can now act with clarity in chaos. 4. Emotional stability, self-mastery. Saiza teaches observation. Every discomfort, every wandering thought, every impulse to move becomes noticeable but not controlling. You learn to observe your emotions without reacting to them. This is true self-mastery, the ability to choose how you respond, rather than reacting automatically. Sitting in Saiza heightens awareness. The spine aligned, breath steady, mind alert. Thoughts are sharper. Perception is clearer. Focus is no longer scattered. This quiet intensity is transferable to any task, from work to study, from meditation to decision-making. Saiza may appear simple, even quaint, but each time you sit, you are building a foundation of mental toughness, endurance, discipline, calm, emotional stability, and focus, all cultivated quietly, one session at a time. The ancient samurai knew it, Zen monks understood it, and now modern practitioners are discovering it. This simple posture, kneeling still, spine straight, breath steady, has the power to transform your mind, sharpen your emotions, and fortify your mental strength. In a world that constantly pulls you outward, Saiza reminds you that true strength comes from the stillness within. Part 7. Mindfulness in Action, Applying Samurai Calm in Daily Life. Saiza is not just a posture. It is a practice that teaches your mind to remain steady, focused, and calm. But how does this ancient habit translate into modern life, where chairs, screens, and endless distractions dominate our days? The answer lies in mindfulness in action. The same principles that make a samurai or a monk unshakable, presence, stillness, and observation, can be applied anywhere. Whether you're sitting at your desk, driving through traffic, handling a difficult conversation, or making an important decision, the lessons of Saiza can guide you. 1. Pause before reacting. The samurai never struck immediately. They observed, they breathed, they assessed. In daily life, your first reaction is often emotional, frustration, anger, or panic. But if you practice the pause, just a few seconds of awareness, you create space between stimulus and response. This space is where control, clarity, and wisdom reside. Exercise. When you feel irritation or stress rising, take 3 slow breaths. Notice your body, and then respond intentionally. 2. Embrace discomfort. Saiza trains you to endure physical discomfort. Modern life has its own forms of discomfort. Long meetings, tough conversations, or confronting mistakes. Instead of fleeing or avoiding these moments, treat them like Saiza practice. Lean into the discomfort, remain present, and notice your reactions. This builds resilience and fortitude over time. 3. Focus on the present. A wandering mind creates anxiety. Saiza forces attention to the body, posture, and breath, anchoring the mind in the moment. During daily tasks, focus on one sense at a time. Notice the texture of what you touch, the sounds around you, or the rhythm of your breathing. This cultivates the same mental clarity gained from Saiza. 4. Observe without judgment. Zen teaches that emotions and thoughts are temporary. In Saiza, you learn to watch discomfort or wandering thoughts without reacting. In life, practice observing stress, anger, or fear without labeling it as good or bad. Awareness alone reduces its power and allows you to act with composure. 5. Build rituals for mental strength. Saiza shows the power of small, consistent rituals in daily life. Create your own. A morning meditation, mindful tea, a brief moment of silence before meetings, or a 5-minute seated check-in. These anchor your mind and build resilience gradually, just as Saiza does. The essence of Saiza is simple. Stillness cultivates strength. By applying its principles in daily life, you can navigate challenges with calm, make better decisions under pressure, and maintain control over your emotions when chaos surrounds you. The samurai mastered the art of action through stillness. Zen monks discovered enlightenment through it. And now, you too can carry this ancient habit into the modern world, transforming ordinary moments into opportunities to strengthen your mind and sharpen your focus. In a life full of noise and movement, the person who pauses, breathes, observes, and acts with intention. That person carries the calm of a warrior and the clarity of a monk. Saiza is not just sitting. Saiza is living with presence, purpose, and unshakable calm. Part 8. A practical 7-day emotional mastery challenge for viewers. Now that you understand the power of Saiza and the ancient Japanese approach to mental strength, it's time to put these lessons into practice. I'm going to guide you through a 7-day emotional mastery challenge designed to help you cultivate calm, focus, and unshakable mental strength, just like the samurai and Zen monks. Even if you've never meditated, sat in Saiza, or practiced mindfulness, this challenge is simple and practical. Day 1, the 2-minute pause. Sit in Saiza or any comfortable seated posture for 2 minutes. Focus on your breath. Notice your body. Resist the urge to fidget. Goal: begin observing your thoughts and emotions without reacting. Day 2, awareness of discomfort. Sit for 3 to 4 minutes. Pay attention to physical sensations, tingling legs, stiff knees, your back. Observe without judgment. Goal: train your mind to endure discomfort with patience. Day 3, breath as anchor. Increase to 5 minutes. Focus on slow, deep breathing. Inhale for 4 counts, exhale for 6. Let your breath guide your awareness. Goal: calm the nervous system and replace reactive emotion with steady focus. Day 4, mindful observation. Sit for 5 to 7 minutes. Notice wandering thoughts and emotional reactions. Label them silently, thinking, anxiety, frustration. Then return to your breath. Goal: develop emotional neutrality and mental clarity. Day 5, small action, big presence. Sit for 7 to 10 minutes. After your practice, apply the calm in a daily task, a difficult conversation, a challenging work task, or mindful walking. Observe how presence changes your reaction. Goal: transfer mental stillness from practice into real life. Day 6, extended stillness. Sit for 10 to 12 minutes. Allow discomfort, wandering thoughts, and impulses to arise. Do not move or react immediately. Simply observe. Goal: strengthen self-control, patience, and resilience. Day 7, reflection and integration. Sit for 15 minutes. Reflect silently on the week. What changed in your mind? How did your emotional reactions shift? What will you carry forward? Goal: internalize the lessons and commit to ongoing practice. This 7-day challenge is more than a ritual. It is a step-by-step journey to cultivate the mental strength that the samurai and Zen monks valued above all else. End of challenge reminder: the discomfort is the training. The stillness is the teacher. The mind is the battlefield. Even after the challenge ends, continue practicing. Start each day with a few minutes of seated focus. Face emotional storms with awareness. Respond, don't react. Saiza teaches that true strength comes from within. A quiet mind, a disciplined body, and a steady presence. If you practice daily, you will notice it. Greater composure under stress. Clearer focus in work and life. Emotional balance, even in chaos. And the kind of inner calm that feels unshakable. The world may move fast, but you will remain still. The world may be chaotic, but you will remain grounded. And the world may challenge you, but you will remain mentally unbreakable. Imagine a life where chaos doesn't shake you, where stress doesn't control you, where every decision, every action flows from calm, clarity, and strength. That life is not a dream. It begins with a single moment of stillness. Kneel, breathe, sit, and discover the power you've been carrying within you all along. If you found this video valuable, like, comment, and subscribe to join our journey into ancient wisdom, mental strength, and life-changing habits. Tell us in the comments, which lesson from Saiza will you start practicing today?